Energy Collective, what is going on? Happy full moon in Capricorn. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy around the full moon via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. This is actually not too bad of a full moon, which makes me hopeful. And actually, as I'm saying this, there is a really beautiful aspect in the astrology that is ignited through this full moon, which allows us to become a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more optimistic about what's on the horizon. We've been going through experiencing a bunch of change, whether that's being forced, or things that we kind of saw coming, things that we might have had a heads up around. And one of the most influential aspects to this full moon is Saturn and Neptune in conjunction on top of each other in Aries. Neptune's in retrograde. Saturn's about to go into retrograde on the 13th. So it's really forcing us to slow down. That's what retrogrades do. They encourage us to take our time. They often highlight things that we need to take our time around. And this Saturn-Neptune conjunction is all about being able to listen to yourself, trust your instincts, trust what you're seeing. And it might not be the most comfortable of messages, but it's like that innate knowing of I'm seeing that this is how this is going. And I know for my highest and best, it's good for me to do X, Y, and Z, right? Versus just kind of sweeping something under the rug, pretending it's not there, etc. But this is kind of like rubbing our ego. It doesn't feel good to have to do that stuff because it does mean we have to be proactive and in kind of uncomfortable ways, which Capricorn energy is all about. It is about strength and endurance, and it's also ruled by Saturn. So we're getting that kind of overlapping and mirroring that if we kind of have that bird's eye perspective and can tap into not being so fixated on what's going on right in front of us at the present moment, it's really going to help us find success. It's really going to help us take the next steps and not feel too overwhelmed or jarred or pulled this way and that. That's also why I like to start off these readings with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles, limitations we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart or mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just looking for a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are strong and grounded in ourselves, when we're taking care of ourselves, we know who we are, what we want, etc. That's really that foundation that we manifest our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance from. And we all totally deserve that. I would love to help you help support you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Amen. the giant sage stick. It's Gigantor. All right, your energy feels, there's hope on the horizon. As much as maybe there are a lot of moving pieces, full moons always heighten, amplify energy. And like I was saying, Capricorn isn't necessarily the easiest energy. It's gonna force us to dig deep, to find that internal strength, etc. But it's bringing something for you, right? Like it's bringing this special gift is what I'm hearing with this intuition and Venus energy. It's bringing about some connection, something that you love, something that really is going to quote unquote beautify your life. So much of the change that we're experiencing right now, i.e. Pluto moving into Aquarius end of last year, it's going to be there for the next 18 years. Pluto's also in retrograde right now. It's giving us an opportunity to really change how we're showing up in our life, how we're like expressing who we are, the life we want to live, etc. There's change even just in the collective about new ways to make money, opportunities, etc. How we connect with people, places, and things. And so a lot of the shakeups that are happening right now are allowing us to get rid of like the things that really, they might have been good, they might have served their time, served their purpose, but new inspiration is coming in. Because I do really see this, I've mentioned this in other videos this week, but I really am seeing this full moon as like a breaking free, a release. Like I'm hearing it as endurance, right? Like you keep pushing towards the goal. And as we're hitting this full moon, there's a lot of things that are giving way around. It feels not so bad, like, or you have a handle, even if you are still dealing with some messy things or picking up the pieces around some things, it feels like you have a better handle. And new stuff is coming in as a result. And that really connects back to that breaking free that I'm picking up. I feel like there's things that are changing. Here's the thing. I think some of this change is requiring you to be proactive. I feel like that's where this inspiration has to come from. Interestingly enough, we get two of the most influential aspects in this full moon. We have Aquarius energy as well as Aries energy. So that Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, and then Pluto's in Aquarius. And it's the beginning of something. That's what I'm hearing. But I feel like there is this energy of you grabbing the bull by the horns, taking some initiative of some kind, recognizing everything does take time. There is natural order, and maybe that's where the struggle has been. We've been seeing either things take a really long time to close out, clarity coming through, etc., or they're just taking a long time to wrap up, and it really does go back to this value of everything has a natural order. There is a natural progression to everything in the universe. Is what I was going to say, right? But I'm not going to go down that tangent. My mind is getting pulled in a direction. And, I think that that's kind of where taking this time to find new inspiration. Aquarian energy is really inventive. It's super creative. It's not being afraid to step outside of the box, to do unusual things or whatever that thing is that's kind of been, piquing your interest for quite some time, because it also rules the 11th house of like friendship, our community, our hopes, our wishes, of how those people dynamics show up in our life. And so much of what is changing is taking out the old, right? Removing the things, like I was saying earlier, that really aren't in alignment with that. And I think a lot of where we're discovering our support, our security, is coming from unexpected places, i.e. that Jupiter that's tensely aspected to Saturn and Neptune. So it looks like I feel like you're empowering yourself through this new moon. Like I said, there feels like there's some level of cleanup at play. These are situations, dynamics that you have to be really analytical about, pros and cons list. Try not to get too much emotion, feeling involved. That's the other thing about Capricorn energy. Well, Earth energy in general can be a little bit stubborn, right? So, and you're kind of showing up as that in the Seven of Pentacles, like you're cool to wait, or someone's cool to wait. I do feel like someone is trying to talk to you. I do feel like this is a little bit of residual stuff that you have loose ends. Someone, okay, we're going from the 7 to the 8 of Pentacles. So someone's trying to make progress. This is the beginning of something new. Maybe something that has already been established on some level, but hasn't really gotten off foot. It hasn't really like taken off. Sorry, I know I'm totally butchering that. But this value of, okay, I mean, it looks like there's something that really helps kind of with your stability is whether that's money or just added support that's coming in. Queen of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So someone who's making like a really practical offer. I feel like this is something they've been sitting on for quite some time. Like they've wanted to connect, wanted to approach you. It could be an Aquarius or an Aries. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but we're having that double confirmation, right, on that air energy, that Aquarius energy. I feel like this person's a little nervous. Like I'm getting this, like, you know, they're nervous to approach you, and maybe in some ways, like you can kind of sense this, or you know this is going to happen, but you feel like it might not be, like you're more focused on whatever you have going on. I swear to God, the cards never lie. Queen of Wands, Aries energy, fire energy, double confirmation. You're good to wait, and maybe this is where this natural order card is coming into play, but I feel like someone is really ready to connect with you, is really ready to approach you. And it looks like whatever they're bringing, they're hopeful, right? It goes back to that minor grand trine that I was talking about in the very beginning. It's between the outer planets of Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, and it gives us that hopeful energy. It gives us that optimism and positivity, even though there are some things that are going around that might still feel messy, because I am seeing that whatever this conversation is, it has a lot of moving pieces. I think there's a lot of things that have been left unsaid, and whether that's other people, other dynamics playing into this, it definitely looks like some of this stuff is going to be, like the gaps are going to be filled in. I feel like this person, that's because it is so messy. I mean, come on, it's the Death card, it's 4 of Wands, and it's the Devil. It feels really, I don't know, this person's going to try to approach it as sensibly as possible. Like I said, there might be money attached to it. Let's see how you're taking this. I think it's a heavy conversation because after the fact, whatever you're dealing with, they got to take a step back. They kind of... So it's not something that's going to be a one and done. This feels like a progressive conversation. And like I said, in the beginning, we're seeing that this is more something that kind of breaks the ice, 100%. That's actually like... definitely that vibe that I've been picking up, because something does feel like it's giving way, that it's breaking, but in a good way. Like it's more a release of pent-up energy, pent-up tension, whatever hasn't been said, right? Like whatever has kind of led to this like really messy demise. It does look like someone's finally willing to address it, and I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like you're receiving it as a good thing with this 2 of Cups. You're respecting it in the way that it might not be an easy conversation to have, and you see the effort, right? Again, I feel like there's this part of you that also is seeing this happen. Maybe it's just as simple as because you're watching this video, but it definitely has this energy. Like, I don't know, like, here's the thing. It feels like there is some bad blood. And so it's kind of like, meh, you know, like, do we really want to? There's some fear. There's some hesitancy about making amends or whatever this has to be addressed. Again, because this is something that's like really... it just feels really messy. Let's see about this. How are they? Okay. it looks like they're acknowledging that they limited themselves. Like there is some acknowledgement, so I think that's positive. For you, and I think this is again why you're hesitant, because things are still up in the air, right? Like it's helping fill in the blanks. Maybe some of the offense is not seeming so offensive, but there's still offenses there, if that makes sense. Like you still need to kind of figure out what you think, what you feel, how you want to handle this situation. I do feel like this person is helping. It's ultimately helping. It's just a messy conversation to have. Ten of Swords, and here's the thing, I think a lot of it is going to be dependent on how they deliver, and that might be hard for them, right? That might be kind of hard for them. Let's see. Five of Cups. It seems like there's good faith. It seems like there are hopeful things. It seems like I said, this is a conversation, the beginning of something small that is going to build, that is going to grow. It does look like you have history with this, but this is an opportunity to kind of restart again to whatever capacity that looks like. Like I said, I feel like you end up leaving this a little up in the air, ambiguous. So I definitely am feeling that vibe of like, don't make any decisions. A lot of times, full moons are all about manifestation, right? So they kind of bring out these dynamics, these situations, so we have better clarity on what is happening, and then as we're moving towards the new moon, we're releasing, we're letting go. So it's really a time to be a little bit more introspective, to get connected with yourself, whether you want to meditate or eat healthy or take some walks outside. Walking out in nature is like one of the best, easiest ways to like not only ground our energy, but really align us with our natural cycles and rhythms, like our physiology. And actually they even say like taking a walk first thing in the morning is a really good way to reset our circadian rhythm. So our body's like doing what it needs to do, right? And I feel like that's kind of where, sorry, my little tangent, but that's where this isn't about making a decision today or tomorrow. Like you don't need an answer. And I feel like it's actually more appropriate, because I do feel like you're a little hesitant around whomever, whatever this is. You want to see how legit it is. You want to see if whatever information they're bringing you makes enough sense, if it gives you enough of a reason to make certain decisions. They are wanting something with you, right? We have this Nine of Cups energy. And it might be something that's really beautiful, that's really powerful, that offers you a new opportunity. I feel like you're in this place of like having exactly the tools that you need, connecting with your inner truth, right? I feel like here's the thing, like a lot of what gets exposed in this conversation is going to be inner truth from both ends. And I think it is going to help fill in the gaps, etc. Like I said, it might not be the easiest conversation, but it's not the, it actually helps with releasing, letting go, breaking free, right? Like I was saying. And that's exactly what we're getting. Let go, Barry. And this breaks down to numerology. It's an 8. So that's all about those messages, that communication. Quantum jump, level up. I'm going to pull one more because I love these cards so much. And it feels good, right? It feels positive. Sorry. I hope my energy doesn't seem like a Debbie Downer. It's kind of intense, right? It's that value that it like... It's taken a lot to get here. It is humbling. It's not easy. There are things that are going to be rehashed that maybe don't feel comfortable, that don't feel pleasant. But again, it's allowing release. It's allowing letting go. Even as we're walking into this full moon, I'm feeling that energy really strongly of letting go, right? Of breaking the ice, of ready to bury the hatchet, ready to be done and over with things. We have an understanding of whatever we're dealing with. It doesn't mean all the problems are ending today or tomorrow. That would be nice, right? But it's this value of just like you're ready to move on, and your energy is showing that. And I feel like something about this conversation is really allowing that to happen, allowing that evolution to happen. So I hope you have a fabulous full moon. It looks like good vibes. I'm excited. I feel hopeful. I hope you enjoy. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I would love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. Know it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.